Man, that's
Hello,
some
everybody, and
headbanging
welcome
music.
in to this AFC South Show 163 here on Curtis's Podcast Network. I'm the host of the channel. My name is Curtis Brown, and with me tonight, we've got our Colts man, Justin. You can go check him out at Kingmaker Sports, at Kingmaker_DFF on all the social medias. You can also check out Eric down here at your bottom. He's part of Third and Teal.
Yeah,
Call him Mr. Talk around here, even though he's
yeah.
just giggling at the moment. You can find both of these gentlemen on a Colts podcast called Unstabled, which could use some Colts subscribers, honestly. So, go over there if you're a Colts fan. Hit the
Please go over
subscribe
there.
button. And then you can find Eric on Third and Teal, our Jaguars podcast, hosted with Isaiah and Trevor. And then
Yeah.
Justin's also got Jeff and Alex over there holding it down for the Ponies. I, of course, host the Texans podcast, That Real Texas Team. You can go over there, subscribe. We're trying to grow all the channels. We do have Titans people. I feel like there's some people who are like, why is there never a Titans guy on? They're here. I swear to you, they exist. But it's a bye week, and it's like trying to herd cats. I'm not going to lie. So head on over to Titans Takeaways. Hit a subscribe over there. Trying to grow their channel too. With that being said, big week in week 5 for the AFC South. Obviously, the Colts and the Jags had a banger of a game down there in Duval County. And, Houston squeaks by a win against a really depraved because of injury Bills team. So let's get into those things. First, let's talk about injuries. Eric, was anybody hurt for Jacksonville today?
No, not that I'm aware of. Everybody survived the game we came out pretty healthy. So I really can't complain about it.
Okay. Justin, anybody for the Colts come up a little lame?
No significant injuries. Everybody was blessed and fortunate enough to be able to go home the same way they came. So hopefully that continues to be a trend. Glad to see everybody's healthy.
Right on. Houston fans probably recognize that Jimmy Ward got hurt. First tackle of the game.
Wow.
Kind of just got awkwardly sandwiched between Stingley and the ball carrier, and kind of took the brunt of Stingley's hit, and then he might have some Dane damage. We'll see. But also Nico Collins got hurt today, pulled a hammy after his long bomb. So that's something to keep an eye out on. That's really going to hurt if he's not available going forward for the next few games. I mean,
yeah.
Yes, that is
huge part of your offense.
Got New England coming up next, so I mean, maybe not, but
Yeah.
but you never know with any given Sunday and stuff. But
yeah.
And then the Titans, Will Levis, they had an MRI on his shoulder. It's a grade 2 AC joint. He would have missed this week if they had a game, but he'll probably be right as rain, ready to go. Maybe not right as rain, but he'll be in some discomfort, but able to go when they play Indianapolis next week. So,
okay,
let's get into the Texans-Bills game first. That way I can let you guys just kind of have your fun here. This was a game that Houston honestly had no business letting it get this close. The first half was 20-3 at halftime. Or 17-3, I apologize. It was a very clean first half. Stroud and Nico were able to hit for that long bomb, 66 yards for a touchdown, and that put us up 14-3. We weren't running the ball super efficiently, but Cam Akers did get into the end zone today. He did have, I think it was 13 carries. Hold on. My phone updated. 9 carries for 42 yards. So pretty healthy average there, actually. Dare, 15 attempts for 30 yards. CJ had 27 on the ground, and then they're still trying to do the dang jet sweeps with Tank Dell, and it's just not working. 1 carry, -5 yards.
I want it to work so bad because I love Tank, but
it's just not. And then when it comes the ball, it's just not functioning right. It doesn't hit the same. Stephon Diggs had a pretty good day. He didn't get into the end zone, but he did 6 catches, 82 yards on 8 targets. He was very, very clutch at different points in the game, and I'm pretty sure that's who CJ was targeting when he threw his pick late in the second half.
Mm.
The defense, we were talking about it before we started tonight. The defense did just enough. It felt like there would be big plays, and then we'd bow up towards the goal line essentially, and hold them to a field goal, hold them out entirely. James Cook got going a little bit in the second half there. This is the second game in a row where we've allowed over 150 rushing yards as a whole, not to just one player, thank God, but just as a whole. And it's something that's concerning, but I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that we don't necessarily have our A team in at the defensive interior yet. Folorunso Fotokasi is part of that A team, but Mario Edwards Jr. is predominantly a pass rush guy. Khalil Davis, predominantly a pass rush guy. Kurt Heinisch wasn't able to go today. He's a run stopper. He was on the short-term IR. They activated his window. He'll probably be back in next week or two. Beyond that, I mean, not a lot of pressure on Allen. We got 1 sack, but we were able to make him not do a damn thing. 9 completions on 30 attempts for 131 yards and a touchdown. And the touchdown,
you have to be happy about that.
Yeah. That was everything I could have asked for and then some. The touchdown wasn't a deep bomb. It was probably I think it was actually like a at the line of scrimmage, and then Keon Coleman just ran by everybody.
Coleman made the play on that. That had nothing to do with Josh Allen. Yes, your defense held Josh Allen in check all day, and for an elite guy that's supposed to be up there with Mahomes, dude, you can't ask for much more in your defense on as far as Josh Allen goes.
Yeah,
took him out of the game.
Yeah. I'm remembering the play now. It was Kamari Lassiter was in coverage, and he actually had a bead on him and put a hand on him, and just slipped right through him, through his grasp, and then he just outran everybody else.
Coleman was just a great runner on that play. I mean, no, his heel was just enough above the grass to not be out of bounds, and he just. I mean, Coleman's a great player. He just made a play. That's all it was.
Yeah. Beyond that, Kaimi Fairbairn proves yet again why he is consistently the most underpaid kicker in the league. I think of his like 9 field goal attempts this season, 10 field goal attempts, 8 of them have been from 50 plus.
Yeah.
He like
as long as he stays underpaid, the ownership will be happy.
Yeah.
Production for pennies. That's what they're wanting. That's what they're getting right now. Production for pennies. He's not getting that Matt Gay money.
Yeah.
I hate
exactly.
Is it Kaimi or Kaimi? How do you say it?
Kaimi.
Like that guy's doing pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't ask for a pay raise soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only kicker that we've given like 3 extensions to. And see more in the future, because he's really. It seems like he's entering. Like last year was the beginning of his prime, and we've got a couple years of this just piling onto each other, and I'm here for it.
Having a money kicker is you can't put a price on that.
Right.
I remember over the years us having prime Adam Vinatieri. You can't put a price on that.
Yeah.
All right, go get us 3 points. You don't even have to think about it.
Yep. Scobie and Lambeau. That was us. Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about the kicker until the game's on the line.
Right. Didn't even have to worry about it with those 2 anyway. Yeah.
The penalties though cleaned up a lot. I think we were down to. And it wasn't until the 4th quarter that we had our 5th penalty. So I'm happy about that.
That's a big improvement.
That's massive. We ended the game with, I believe, 6 or 7 penalties. And then I think Buffalo only had like 4 or 5, so it was pretty split there. But I think Laramie had his token false start at one point.
He's always good for one. Always good for one.
Always.
But we debut the new H-Town Blues, and we get a win in them, and
they look so good.
They do look good. They do look good.
Oh man, I'm so jealous that y'all actually are changing up your uniform to some awesome looking colors and designs because like that's the one thing I always want in Indianapolis. Like I get it, everyone's like, oh, it's a classic look, but
Yeah.
we can have one that looks cool, like color rush is not it's not what I'm talking about. But
No.
come on, let's do like a black and a blue jersey. Do something different. Like bro, the Texans, they have it going on. That powder blue, I love it that they're incorporating the powder blue, especially everything the University of Houston had going on with Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And good for you, Texans. I love the fact that you're putting that in there. Stick it to Tennessee.
We plan
And
to.
look good doing it. And look good doing it.
But beyond that, I mean,
Oh, okay.
there were multiple times today where it felt like the offensive line was not doing C.J. Stroud or the running backs favors. Blake Fisher got his first start in the NFL this week, and in a crucial moment in the fourth quarter, on our own, like within our own 30, he gets walked back where he's basically the defender's within arm's reach of C.J. Stroud, and he just swats the ball out. Buffalo gets the ball, ties up the game. That was again one of those moments where the defense had to hold, and they did, and held them to a field goal because they could have gone up. And the way that our offense was moving at that point, I didn't have a lot of faith that was going to work out well.
Mm.
Well, Buffalo's been playing solid defense this year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I figured they were going to get at CJ a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, good for that kid, man. Your first game, good for you. It just sucks that it, came against your Texans. But
it is what it is. But it turned out
got to
okay.
win.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
yeah,
In the league, it's all matters.
that's all that matters.
And right now we're 4-1. We're 2-0 in the division, and we're in a good spot. With New England being the next destination, and then another away game at Green Bay.
Green Bay should be a fun one. Green Bay's been doing really well on offense.
Great game.
Yeah,
That Jaden Reed over there, he's something special.
He is. He is. And I think Love is really starting to kind of come into his own. He didn't necessarily light it up today, but I think he's getting back to normal slowly but surely after that injury. Beyond that, I'm happy we won. It's a great day to be a Texan. And do you guys have any more comments about this game?
You won. That's all. I really didn't watch it, so I can say y'all won.
It's valid. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all's game was still going when ours ended.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I mean, CJ Stroud just was phenomenal. I loved everything he did. 331 yards to the air, 28 for 38, and a touchdown. And it's just that's all you can ask for your quarterback. Anytime that quarterback goes over 300 yards, you can't be anything but happy. And you get the win on top of that. So CJ Stroud is continuing to be the player that I've bragged that he is. So Houston Texans, you've got your guy for the future. Cherish him, love him, don't let him go.
Don't let him go to a massage parlor. Heard.
And yeah, lose that address book real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, Houston quarterbacks and massages don't go well, but as long as they can keep good receivers and good talent around him, you can definitely tell missing Joe Mixon today, there was a hole there. I mean, you could feel that and you could see that the running game just wasn't there.
Yeah.
For Dare Ogunbowale to lead the team in carries at 15, I mean, and Cam Akers at 9, I can tell that they really wanted to pass the ball, and they did. They understood like these guys are not Joe Mixon. So, and there's no disrespect to those guys. I mean, they're good in their own rights, but they weren't fitting what they needed to do. And I'm glad that they made adjustments and trusted in CJ as they should. He's done nothing but prove you right. He was Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. Honestly, like I think he should get a couple MVP votes at this point. And I get it, like he's not lighting the world on fire with 4 or 5 touchdowns, stuff like that. But that's because he doesn't really have to. His defense is helping him out. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean that's all I got on CJ Stroud is just I think that he's just doing very, very well right now.
Yeah. It does make me wonder how well this offense could click if and when Joe Mixon comes back. I should just say when. It's not like he's dying.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, Joe Mixon comes back. Hell, even Damian Pierce, who finally practiced on Friday.
Yeah.
If we
I feel
could
like Damian Pierce could have had a big game. I mean, because he was your guy last year, so he knows the playbook. So I feel like if Damian Pierce was healthy, Damian Pierce would have had a much larger role than either Dare or Akers had today.
Yeah.
Just because he knows
Yeah.
the playbook, he's trusted by D'Amico and the staff. I mean, I get it. Again, these guys are not Joe Mixon, but there's the future at running back is not on the team right now. If that's the only piece you have to worry about shoring up, you got a draft coming up with some loaded guys, and the Texans could, even in the second and third round, you could get a dude at running back if you play it right.
Yeah.
True. All right. Well, let's talk
Pretty
about this game down here in Duval. Very important game for both of
He
those
said
teams.
Duval.
No,
Yeah.
he said Dookie. He said Dookie.
No, he didn't say no Dookie.
All right. Well, look,
No.
let's let Justin go first. Let's talk about
Of course.
what happened with your Colts.
Do I have to? All right. So today was a rough day. Not for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco threw and did whatever he wanted to through the air. 33 for 44. I mean, that number 44 should stand out to you. That's 44 pass attempts for those of you who don't know. 359 passing yards. Excuse me. 359 passing yards for the air and 3 touchdowns. Okay. What the big number here, though, is he did all that passing and 0 interceptions. So that right there, I like. I don't think that we're going to go away from Joe Flacco next week. He didn't do anything that you didn't like today. There was a big hole, and you could feel it with no Jonathan Taylor. The offense just didn't. The centerpiece of the offense is Jonathan Taylor. Let's be clear about that. He is the centerpiece of the offense. The whole offense revolves around him. They've said they want to throw the ball, and then they want to run to score, right? So you didn't have that. Joe Flacco was very serviceable. I mean, if Flacco wasn't his age, you'd be like, why isn't this guy our starter, right? Trey Sermon filled in, as we just talked about. Jonathan Taylor wasn't there, which was missed. Trey Sermon, I mean, he did okay. 10 carries, 38 yards, and touchdown. I mean, the touchdown salvaged him, so you didn't think it was a total waste, because if he didn't have that, you'd think 10 carries, 38 yards, like, okay, that's not great, right?
Right.
Good thing is he scored. The big name here on the Colts side, though, that was able to do some damage was Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce caught all three of his receptions, right? 134 yards and that big TD, right? Alec Pierce, week to week, is starting to change my mind on him. I thought 100% Alec Pierce total trade candidate, after week one, even before week one. Man, he's starting to impress me. All the dude does is make big plays.
I know. You know what? I know. Even the last few years, Alex Spears been the one to make it. So I'm like, the first 3 quarters, where was he? Then all of a sudden he shows up these 2 plays. I'm like, duh, where this guy come from? Where has he been? But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. He in the past couple of games, he's really stepped up. I mean, he's total in the season 368 yards right now, and a lot of those did not come from week 1 and week 2. Okay, so they're starting to understand, like, hey, we need to use this guy more. So Josh Downs was used a lot. So
yes,
just as we talked about last week, I figured is once I saw him healthy, boom, now we're going to really feed and feature Josh Downs. I mean, he got 12 targets, 9 receptions, 69 yards. Sadly enough, didn't get any touchdowns for you fantasy guys out there and girls. No touchdowns, but 9 catches, that's 9 points, right? You can't be mad about that, plus the yards. Pittman wasn't really a great, huge factor other than he caught a touchdown, right? But I don't think that was anything Pittman did wrong. I think that was just because he was being covered, and we decided to just go to other people. And that's what you do. A smart quarterback's going to do that, and we have that in Joe Flacco right now. He's going to make that good decision. If it hurts the player's stat sheet and for fantasy, but for real NFL, because let's be real about this. We all love playing fantasy football. It's fun, right? We love it when our guys do good. The NFL doesn't give a shit about your fantasy team. They are out to win football games. So if Michael Pittman has to be a decoy and get 20 yards on 4 catches, but yet Alec Pierce is getting 134 yards and a long bomb touchdown, like, they're going to do that. If he's wide open, they're going to do that, okay? But and that was a bobbled nice catch. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but by Alec Pierce, that was pretty athletic on his part.
Yes, I did. I saw that.
That was
That was a hell
incredible.
of a catch.
That was
Yes, it
incredible.
was.
Catching it all the
Yes,
way
it
down.
was.
So good for him for upping his value to the team. The Colts had no defense today at all. Trevor Lawrence, like I told you last week, Eric, on the previous show, Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback. And again, I back that up. Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback. You let him have open guys, he's gonna chunk the rock and he's gonna tear you apart. And that's what he did. He just tore apart our defense. They were letting people get behind him, and we paid the price, right? A lot of people, including myself, are not a fan of Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley is not making adjustments. Gus Bradley is not even changing things per series. Like, I get it. Okay, let's stick with this scheme for this series, right?
Right.
But when you're on the sideline talking to your defense, you go, okay, our next series, this is what we're going to do against this. We see this. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
It's like that's not happening. They're just saying, well, just stick with it. No, because Doug Peterson. Now, I don't think Doug Peterson is the answer long term for Jacksonville. Doug Peterson is not a stupid coach. Okay, he's going to make the adjustment if he sees, okay, they're just leaving this hole wide open. You know what? Let's shoot Kirk through there. You know, or let's say this he sees this corner is playing shallow. Okay, hey, Brian Thomas Jr., why don't you make this little move and then you can get behind him? And that's what happened. Brian Thomas Jr. had that long one. But yeah, our defense didn't do anything against Trevor Lawrence today. They just let Trevor Lawrence just eat him alive. But on the flip side of that, your defense kind of did the same thing against Joe Flacco. So, I mean, we get 71 total points in this matchup. I say that again. 71 total points in this matchup. Right. If an NFL team scores 30 points, they should win the game. But Colts score 34, Jaguars score 37. I mean, that's how you tell. That's how you know there's no defense on either side of the ball today.
Yeah.
But that's what I got on the Colts. You know, not crazy about what I saw on defense. I think the offense did okay, minus Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before Eric gets going. So the Titans, I feel like, are in a different kind of situation to where they have to see what they have in Levis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Colts are in a similar situation where they have to see what they have in AR? Or do you think they're in a situation where they're like, okay, we could probably just win now with Joe Flacco?
So I do think that we're in a situation to where Richardson is still growing, and that presents a problem when you take him as high as you did. The Titans, they didn't take Will Levis in the first round, so you're afforded a little bit more leeway on that. But with Richardson, the fans aren't going to understand, like, from an analysis standpoint, that he's raw coming out of college. They don't look back and see, oh, how many games has he really played and this and that. It is tough because on the one hand, you're like, no, he's our franchise quarterback. We need to play him. We need to start him. But on the other hand, we just mentioned about it in this league, it's about winning the game. It doesn't matter how you win, it's winning. You know, so let's not forget the Eagles won their Super Bowl with the backup quarterback. So they didn't care that Carson Wentz wasn't there. They didn't give up their season. They said, okay, let's adjust. We're gonna do like the Rams did. We're gonna play good football behind Kurt Warner, right? Yeah. So they did the same thing with Nick Foles, and I think we can do that with Joe Flacco. We can say, okay, Joe, you're doing everything right. You're what we need right now. Our offense is doing better with you right now. Let's stick with you. Let's let the kid learn from you. See you live in game, not see you in practice and listen to, old man stuff, like
right.
This old man knows what he's talking about. He's going on the field and applying what he's talking about. When he says, hey, watch this coverage, and if that does that, then you do this. So normally a young kid, like, in one ear and out the other, okay, whatever, I know what I'm doing, right? But to see him go out there and say, oh shit, he just did that and threw a touchdown. I don't know if I could have done that. I might need to start listening to this guy. So I think it's going to help. So to answer your question, I think that if Joe Flacco's giving you the best chance to win, stick with Joe Flacco. You've got Anthony Richardson on a rookie deal. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. You're fine, right? I would say stick with Joe Flacco for at least next week and see how it goes, right? Let's not rush Anthony Richardson back and potentially get a further injury,
Yeah.
I just to jump on that real quick. I do believe Indy knows what they have in Richardson. They know what they have. The question is, can they keep him on the field? That is the biggest question right now. He's raw, like Justin said. He's raw. He didn't play that many games in college, but the potential is there. There it is. The potential is there. He's shown some flashes, but he can't stay his behind on the field. That's why I
Right.
call him tissue paper. He just can't
But
stay
being
on
more
the field.
careful, not making sloppy slides like you did
Yeah,
last
I
week.
mean,
You got to protect yourself.
right. He's got
But
to.
that's
You know,
also on Shane Steichen to not call a freaking design quarterback run right after he
that's
pulled
true.
up lane.
That
You
is
cannot
true.
do that. If
That
you want
is
him to be
true.
your franchise quarterback, you have to treat him like your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, but honestly, uh, yeah, I would stay with Flacco because Flacco's just that veteran that has been around, man. I mean, he's been around. That's why I was not happy when they said he was going to start today, because Flacco has a
Yeah.
history of just beating our behinds and giving us hell. And with
Yeah.
a
Now,
secondary
Colts
like,
fans will probably hate me for saying this, but I was with you. I was happy that Joe Flacco was starting today because I don't think the game would have been that close
I
with the way
agree.
Anthony Richardson has been playing.
I
Now, I'm
agree.
not saying that way he won't play in the future,
Right.
but I'm
But
living in today, right now. I don't think Anthony Richardson gave us the best opportunity to win this game today.
me
Yeah.
either. Me
And
either.
we've been calling him old this whole time, but Joe Flacco, 39 years old, had like a 16-yard run where he ran all the way across the field.
22 freaking yards, man. I was ready to break my television. I'm like, all these guys on this damn field is supposed to be running 4.5, 4.3, and y'all can't catch this old joker. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
he took a very nice angle to outrun some folk, but I'm like, y'all can't catch him, really?
What's that?
Yeah,
And,
you
and-
couldn't catch old man Joe.
right at this point in the game, y'all let him run for 22 yards, really?
Yeah.
That was a little bit of fatigue, and
Right.
I think we had gotten a couple of sacks, a couple of plays before that, so I think they would just pin their ears back and they forgot that Joe could do it if he wanted to. So yeah, that was
I mean,
that
yeah.
was on us.
We've seen
Yeah,
some of the slowest quarterbacks in the league get a long run every now and then.
I know,
Yeah.
right? And what did he do? He headed straight for out of bounds. He went
Yeah,
to
right.
no
Smart.
lit.
Well, we just talked about taking care of
Yep,
yourself, protect yourself.
exactly.
Anthony Richardson, I hope you were watching the game, buddy.
Let's see. So let's talk about our boys. We got to win. So we're no longer 0-4. So now I can talk smack again. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. On the preview show, I said in order for us to win this game, one of the things that we would have to do was get the backs involved in the passing game. And we actually did. ETN, he had some nice catches. He had 6 receptions for 43 yards. Tank had 1 for 28, which was like a little screen pass. And I said we had to run some screens. We ran some screens today. I'm like, but they must have been listening to me, right?
They're listening. Doug
because
Peterson's
because
listening.
that's what they started doing. Trevor, man, I said Trevor, when he get in that rhythm, he's deadly. And trust me, he was in a rhythm today. Of course, playing against zone most of the day, but he had it, man. 28 for 34, 371, 2 TDs, 1 interception. I can take that interception because I saw what he was trying to do. He just got fooled on that one. The defensive back underneath made a good play. So I can take that one. So he ended up with 82% completion, 119.5 QBR. So yeah. And then to use my man Trevor's saying, Brian Thomas Jr. is him. Because he is him. Yes. He had 5
last week y'all
receptions?
struck gold in that kid, and he's
Huh?
gold, man.
Yeah.
I told you last week y'all struck gold. He's gold.
5 receptions on 8 targets, 122 yards in the T. Tank. Boy, Tank is earning that name, man. 13 for 101. 13 for 101, dude. That Tank was rolling. And on that long run, Tank made that run. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Indy had that play defense just right, but Tank saw it and cut back up inside. And when he cut back up inside, he only had 2 tackles to break. That's all, and he was gone to the races.
Yeah.
But the only thing about Tank, and I don't know what it is, but Tank got to remember when he get close to that goal line, hold on to the freaking ball, man. Put 2 arms around it or something. Because actually, he almost fumbled that one. He really did. You know, he held it on his side, but yeah. So I don't know what he was playing with in the back, but yeah, he need to stop. He needs to
Probably
work
got
on
too
that.
excited.
I don't care. Hold on to the ball. Celebrate after you get there.
I don't care.
we see. Hey, because of him, we could have been 2-4 now. Now, let me stop. But it's true. But anyway, so yeah, the running game was good. We did get the backs into the passing game, which was great. Trevor didn't force anything. He took the backs that were open, because last week we were looking at the all 22, and there was times when the backs were in the flat open all by themselves, and he tried to go downfield, and he just took what was given to him today, and the backs did the rest. Defensively, well, defensively, we did all right defensively. The front four was getting pressure. They were pushing. They really were. Josh and Trayvon, hey, they were going to work. They really were. You know, except for that one where they let the old man go for 22. Okay. Yeah, they did good on the run game. They kept the run game in check pretty well also. The only thing that bothered me defensively was, I think, once again, our defense got tired. And I'm going to tell you why. I mean, some people say, well, there's a good reason why they got tired. But when you missing personnel, sometimes you have to take this into account. The offense started scoring too fast, believe it or not. You know, 1 play, 2 plays, and then defense is back on the field. Now here's Indy throwing bombs and, long pass routes. Defense tired. You know what I mean? They are tired. So it was a good thing, but at the same time, not so good, because we just don't have the bodies right now. We just don't have the bodies. So, and Darby, like I told y'all the other night, Darby is a liability. It showed up again today. Darby and Johnson can't tackle a cow in the open pasture, man. I'm telling you, the dude can't tackle in the open field worth of crap. But other than that, man, it was a good outing. It was a game we needed. Like as we said the other night, it was a game we really didn't need, and they actually played like it. You know, there were some reports that Trevor and Gabe Davis got into it on the sideline. You know, which Gabe caught the ball, fumbled it, had passing interference on that same play. You know, so I think Trevor was like,
Yeah, that's
"Hey,
on Gabe Davis.
yeah, let's do better than that." So, but apparently it worked, because Gabe came back and called some more passes. So it was it really was a good offensive showing. You know, I'm not gonna say, well, it was the Colts, but I'm not gonna say that, because like we always say, yeah, y'all players get paid just like we do. You know, but it was in Jacksonville, so we should have expected that. I got mad though, because we had 34 points. I said, "Damn, I'm on my prediction. I'm on my prediction." And next thing I know, here come Pierce. 2 catches, 2 big catches, and next thing you know, it's 34-34. What in the world? You
Whole
know,
different
and
game. Yeah.
yeah, and I think most of the fans at halftime was a little leery anyway, because we're only up 13-10. You know, you're like, "Oh Lord, here we go again." You know, the offense started, kept moving, kept going. The rhythm was still going. And then all of a sudden you look up, it's 34-34. You're like, really? This is what we're going to do today? you know?
Yeah.
But hey, they kept their composure and they moved on down the field, let Little kick it. And hey, we in the win column this year. So that was a good
Yeah.
thing. But yeah. But Flacco, Flacco is a lot like Josh Dobbs. You know, it doesn't matter where he goes. That's just experience and stuff gets him through, because he done seen a lot of it already. You know, he
Yeah.
really doesn't. He doesn't have anything to prove. You know, he does. And I didn't know that the Colts were the only team that offered him a contract over this. preseason. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
The announcer said that the Colts were the only one, which is
Mm.
shocking to me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have think Cleveland would have tried to keep him. You know,
Yeah,
but
you'd think.
Right?
They'd love to have him now.
yeah,
Kick
I know,
himself.
right?
Uh,
But yeah, but it was a good game though, and yeah, I didn't, for what it was actually entertaining a little bit too. Like, okay, who's gonna score next? How you gonna score? How fast they gonna
Yeah.
score? And like, can anybody stop anybody now? So yeah, it was good. It was good. We needed it. So hopefully we take some of this momentum going to London next week and handle Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh yes, but no injuries. So we're pretty good now, right now. Yeah. I do want to see my defense work a little bit harder on the front though, but long as Trayvon and Josh bringing the heat, I'm good. Because they're getting there. A lot of times they're not bringing them down, but they're getting there enough to affect. Because on that pass where he missed Ollie Cox in the end zone, I think it was like
Yeah.
late third quarter, early fourth quarter. Um, Josh Allen was right there in his face, and Flacco was stepping back. That's why he overthrew it because he couldn't get enough into it. He was kind of lean back and keep Josh Allen off of him at the same time. So yeah,
Mm.
Josh Allen, Hines. So he was getting there. So was Trayvon. So, but penalty wise, hey, it was pretty much a clean game. I can think between the two teams, maybe 7, 8 penalties altogether. It wasn't a lot at all.
No.
So
I
No.
have
Both teams
yeah,
are pretty disciplined. Yeah.
I have a
yeah.
question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
So Jacksonville is now 1-1 in the division, 1-4 on the season. Indianapolis is now 0-2 in the division and 2-3 on the season. Which one of you is in the bigger hole to come back from?
I think that's a tough one because right now both teams are playing very similarly. I think that the Colts losing to the Texans already because it was supposed to be the Colts versus the Texans. Yes, the Texans are favored, right? For good reason.
Mm-hmm.
But it was supposed to be the Colts versus the Texans in the AFC South. I think because of expectations, I would have to go Colts. But the Jaguars are playing really good football right now on offense, especially if you give Trevor Lawrence time. I think the Jaguars have more to prove, and I think the Colts have a bigger hole to come out of.
Let's take a look here at the next 3 games for both of you. So Indianapolis at Tennessee, you play
Yeah.
home against Miami, and then you're at Houston week 8.
Good Lord, man. That's 4 division games already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're already
yeah,
0-2? Yeah, y'all in the bigger hole right now.
And then
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
for the Jaguars,
Hopefully Tennessee a big get right game.
yeah.
you would think. For the Jaguars, you've got Chicago, New England,
Mm-hmm.
and Green Bay. Now, all 3
Yeah.
of those are considered home games, but Chicago, New England are overseas.
Right.
So you both have a really good kind of like run here to where you could probably pick up a couple wins, maybe Chicago,
Right.
New England for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Feel pretty possible for Jacksonville. Green Bay, depending on how the defense shows up, and who's
Right.
back IR and whatnot.
Right.
For Indianapolis, I feel like you could, if Joe Flacco plays like he did today, I feel like there's a
without a doubt.
pretty good shot that the Colts win that game. Miami, they don't even have a quarterback right now, and they somehow beat the Patriots. And then
How they
Houston.
Explain
figured
that
that
to
one.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
I can see both of you at one point going 2-1 in this next 3-game stretch.
Yeah.
And
But
that puts
I
everybody
think
in
it's
the thick of it.
I think division wise is more important for the Colts because they're already 0-2. Then they got Tennessee, and then in a couple of weeks they play Houston. So that's 4 games already of the 6, right? 4, yeah. So if they go 0 and lose both of those games, they're 0-4 in the division. That is a hole, that they're not gonna come out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, because the first priority should be win division,
Right.
without a doubt.
Mhm, mhm.
0-4 in the division in what, the first 2 months? Yeah. You got to try and shoot for wild card then, because division is basically out unless everybody else just collapsed completely.
Yeah.
Which in this division is not unheard of, but yeah.
Truth. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and let me ask
but it's
you, I
still
got
early.
one last question, and then we should be able to wrap this sucker up.
Okay.
With both of you allowing 30 plus points today, do you find this game to be more of a reflection of improvement of the offense or degradation of the defense?
Both.
I would have
On
to
my
say
end,
defense.
yeah, well, okay. On my end, I would say both. I would say both, because our offense did do some things different. Remember, I was saying we need to do something different. So we did go out and do something different. You know, we did a little schematically. You know, got, like I said, got the backs in the passing game. Changed our route tree a little bit. Of course, we did go back to it at the wrong time. But anyway, yeah, but we did change our route tree a little bit, looks like. So I think offensively, yeah, we did get better. Trevor was a lot more patient, calm. Offensive line played well for the second game in a row. Thank you. So it's an improvement somewhere. Defensively, both teams still hurting in the secondary, in the back end, you know, and until the starters come back or both of us find a way to defend against passes, you know, yeah, it's just going to be a crapshoot. That's why the offense is going to have to step up. That's why Flacco was the better choice for Indy right now than Anthony Richardson, because they're going to need that experience to put points on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, look, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Folks, hit the like, subscribe button. Trying to grow the channel. We're also, if you're more into audio only podcasts, we're on Spotify. I believe we're on Apple Podcasts. I can't remember exactly, but definitely on Google and a multitude of other platforms. You should be able to find us at Curtis Podcast Network. You can head on over to Third and Teal, check out Eric and his cohorts over there.
Yeah,
talking
man.
Duval.
Duval.
Eric, talking Duval.
Yes.
With Trevor and Isaiah down there. And then check out Justin on Unstabled, the Colts podcast in our family of network podcasts. Also follow him on social medias. He's got his own YouTube channel at Kingmaker_DFF for Justin.
DFF.
And then That Real Texas Team podcast, you can go check us out for everything Texans related. Actually, we're about to drop Texans pod. We might even go live next, so we'll see what happens.
All right.
Folks, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content, and be good people.
Be good.